thinking it's not really the drug trafficking and drug distribution operations that really concern me. Indeed, those are just a part of life. I'm more interested in talking about the satanic ritual networks and the human trafficking and child trafficking networks and the organ trafficking networks, indeed, and other dark stuff. It's really the dark stuff that I want to talk about. Indeed, I wouldn't have actually pinpointed the Devizes operation if I thought it was just a drug operation. It's because I realized it was human trafficking, child trafficking, and organ trafficking. And that's the reason I went for it. Indeed, I only really analyzed the drug operations to put things into perspective. Indeed, simple narcotics criminals don't really concern me that much. So my intention isn't to bust open drug operations. Indeed, as I stated, the drug culture is just a part of life, and I am basically from the drug culture. Indeed, the drug culture in many ways molded me into what I am today, and indeed also I'm not actually against people taking drugs. So when I talk about the synthetic drug explosion in Russia, it's merely to view it as part of a geopolitical ambition by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst networks. And it's not to criticize the fact that people are using narcotics. Indeed, I believe narcotics can be a good thing. However, the addiction potential is not such a good thing, but I don't believe that narcotics are necessarily a bad thing. So, in a bit of a confusing state of affairs, a bit of a conundrum. Indeed, it's all a very interesting scenario. As I stated, I do believe the cartel operations that the Devizes police networks connected to Wiltshire Police Headquarters are running is much darker than simply a drug operation. It is not simply a narcotics operation. Indeed, the first thing that really got me thinking about it was the rape gang phenomenon proliferating there, and the Devizes police connected to the Wiltshire Police Headquarters and the Masonic Lodge within the Wiltshire Police Headquarters, as well as Moonraker Lodge number 8747. These Masonic Lodge networks were running a ring whereby they were prostituting local girls to the Faith of Ishmael adherents in the curry houses, kebab shops, and barber shops. Indeed, people will call me delusional because supposedly there's no evidence of this, but I believe that the Devizes population have scared the victims of these rings into submission, whereby they will not speak of what has happened because the Devizes population, as I've stated, are prepared to kill people to protect the reputation of their town, which is based on lies, and also to protect their profits, as the various local businesses such as Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop, Rose's Ironmongers. It's interesting that both of those shops are connected to the supposedly esteemed Rose family of Devizes, who are in fact satanic Masonic creeps. Indeed, these networks also connect to the Cartwright family and the Giles family, who are also Masonic sadist creeps also. And indeed, these networks were all involved in the murder of the 76 mental patients that attempted to expose the mind control operations. But in exposing the mind control operations, these 76 mental patients realized that Devizes is run by a child rape cartel, as it continues to be today. And this is where things started to get really dangerous. Indeed, bursting open mind control experiments leads to realizations regarding what is actually going on in the area. And indeed, in the area is run by a child rape cult, basically. Devizes is run by a child rape cult. And many children are imported from Eastern European countries to Devizes and are kept in underground chambers and are used in ritual rapes by the what I have termed the elders of Devizes, your networks of people such as Ed Giles, the guy who runs Rose's Ironmongers, and also the Wiltshire Police Commissioner, the Wiltshire Police Commissioner's resident at the time. So at the time I was there, it was Angus McPherson. He was heavily involved in these networks, and now it's Philip Wilkinson, who is a key creep in this network, and also such individuals as the Green Lane psychiatrist Peter Cohen. He is involved in these rituals, as well as several of the upper hierarchy of the Green Lane Psychiatric Hospital. Indeed, Peter Crofts, the psychiatrist at Green Lane Hospital, is involved in these toddler rape rituals that occur in such places as the crypt underneath Moonraker Lodge number 8747 on Morris Lane, and in the crypt beneath Walter Rose and Sons Butcher's shop. It's interesting that many of these toddlers are then sacrificed and their organs are harvested by the butchers who work in the butcher's shop, and then basically trafficked out in Walter Rose and Sons butchers' vans, who have some sort of refrigerator capacity, and are then trafficked to various sources that on the black market that wish to buy these organs. Indeed, I wouldn't have pinpointed this operation of Devizes Police utilising the courtyard of Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop if I believed it was simply a narcotics operation, as these things don't particularly interest me. That's just a fact of life, that there is huge amounts of narcotics dealing, distribution, trading, trafficking, etc. Indeed, is the fact that I figured out what was going on. Indeed, the butchers at Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop are a very interesting bunch. Indeed, there are several supposed gangsters who are actually police informants, networks of local roadmen who are actually police informants who claim to be gangsters but are simply police snitches, such as Mason Farrington and Ollie Smith, and they wanted nothing more than to work in Rose and Sons butcher's shop, and subsequently became employed there, and are now part of this organ and human and child trafficking network that is being run out of a supposedly esteemed butcher's shop, which is very interesting to consider the fact that local Freemasons are all involved in this, and probably at least 30% of the Devizes population is profiting from the operations in the courtyard of Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop, which is shared with a Bengali restaurant. Indeed, the Bengalis have their own human trafficking rings and organ trafficking rings, as well as opiate distribution, but as I said, that's not a main concern of mine. And also, this courtyard is also shared with a Middle Eastern run and Turkish run kebab shop. So there is, all kebab shops are fronts for mini mafias, just as barber shops and vape shops are. So it's all basically an organized operation. But my main interest in this operation is the connection between the Wiltshire Police Headquarters, the Masonic Lodge between the Wiltshire Police Headquarters, Devizes Police themselves, Moonraker Lodge number 4787, and networks of people such as Ed Giles, who feigned surprise when I asked him about the operations there. He feigned surprise, but he then relented and said maybe, which says it all. This supposedly respected local individual is actually a notorious rapist of toddlers and sacrifices toddlers, mainly imported from Eastern Europe via mafia networks to Devizes. Indeed, the majority of the victims of the Devizes rings are actually imported from elsewhere, though many local girls and boys are caught up in the rape gang phenomenon. Indeed, the police networks have their own drug dealer, Alex Day, who is a confidential police informant and has a predilection for underage boys, mainly prepubescent boys. Indeed, he exchanges narcotics with very, very young boys. in exchange for sexual favors. And it's interesting to note that Devizes police have their own drug dealer, because it's very strange, because the guy was originally living in Swindon, and I believe he did something there. I'm not entirely sure of the details, but he's no longer allowed in Swindon anymore. So Devizes police imported him basically to Devizes and set him up as their own drug dealer, because he was therefore in a position where any drug dealers that wished to set up on their own and basically begin operations outside of the Devizes police cartel were then informed on by Alex Day. And so Alex Day basically, the reason he never gets arrested is because he works for Devizes police, and he informs on all the other drug dealers in the town who are setting up operations against the Devizes police cartel. So it's all a very interesting scenario. Indeed, it's particularly interesting that the amount of street police in Devizes, indeed the town I'm in now, there isn't such a big police presence on street level compared to Devizes. Indeed, in Devizes, there are street level police basically everywhere all the time. And one may argue that this is because of the Wiltshire Police Headquarters there, but this is not true. This is because the Wiltshire Police Headquarters have designated that many police to protect the criminal operations of Wiltshire Police, basically, which are basically engaged in an enormous organ pornography of minors, rape gang, human trafficking, child trafficking syndicate, basically, which is controlled by Freemasonic networks running the Wiltshire Police, and it all connects to the British Security Services, i.e. MI5, and British Intelligence Services, i.e. MI6, who the Wiltshire Police criminal networks pay tribute to. So a lot of the money goes into the black budget for intelligence operations, but also the Wiltshire Police and at least 30% of the town advisors are making an enormous profit. So they are prepared to kill to maintain the so-called genuine, decent, polite reputation of their town, which isn't actually the case. Indeed, nobody speaks out against it because all of the victims know that Devizes, the 30% of the Devizes population who are profiting from this, will kill them simply to cover up for the activities that they are profiting from. Indeed, Devizes is not a respectable place, with the sheer intensity of the seediness, really, that's going on. But it's amazing how they've managed to conceal these operations from other parts of the population. Indeed, I don't believe all of the inhabitants of Devizes are guilty for this network. And as I've stated, if I just believed it was a narcotics ring, I wouldn't have gone for it in the way I did. And indeed, I do not believe it's simply a narcotics ring, as I've detailed in this video. Indeed, I'm going to leave it there because the beams have suddenly gone up a notch, which is interesting. The beams always seem to go up a notch when I talk in detail about Wiltshire Police and Devizes police networks. It's very interesting how the beams are trained, which means somebody is definitely operating them from the Wiltshire Police networks, which is very interesting to regard. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there now.